Hi students, today we will be exploring the lesson titled Abraham Lincoln's Letter to His Son's Teacher. I am going to explain the lesson in detail, sentence by sentence. So I request you to open the book, page number 1. In this text, Abraham is trying to put across various quintessential points. Before I get into the task, I'm just going to ask you this. Sri Krishi's Spoken English channel. This is a very beautiful and unique channel being used by the students who would like to learn and enhance their communication skills. Of late, it has been decided, besides providing communication skills related videos, we have also decided to do academic lessons. Now, this lesson features across Board of Intermediate classes in English as well as Rajiv Gandhi University of Knowledge Technologies. So, you please pay attention towards this topic if it is part of your syllabus. We have provided you the analysis in Telugu on this particular lesson with regard to the central idea or the gist. Now, this is for the English medium students who may really want some English to English analysis on the topic. So let's get started. Abraham Lincoln's letter to his son's teacher. Please open the text. We have in the very first box, there is some info. It consists of some questions. Taking off. What do parents expect while sending children to school? Question number 2. What should a school give apart from knowledge? 3. How does education contribute to personality development? These are the 3 important and vital questions being posed to the students before they start learning something from this lesson. So these 3 questions have valuable intentions and they do seek some forwarding thoughts to make it clear why this lesson has been prescribed for the students, because this lesson discusses all these points. So apart from classroom knowledge, what should a school give or what should a student learn, and what are the expectations of the parents when they are sending the kids to the schools, as well as the contribution of education towards all-round development of the students. Now, the text goes this way. My son starts school today. It is all going to be strange and new to him for a while, and I wish you would treat him gently. It is an adventure that might take him across continents. All the adventures probably include wars, tragedy, and sorrow. To live this life will require faith, love, and courage. So, dear teacher, will you please take him by his hand and teach him things he will have to know? But gently, if you can. Teach him that for every enemy there is a friend. He will have to know that all men are not just, that all men are not true. But teach him also that for every scoundrel there is a hero, that for every crooked politician there is a dedicated leader. My son starts school today. So this is the day on which the boy starts going to school. The introduction of the school environment to a student. He is ready to go to school. It's all going to be strange and how new to him for a while, and I wish you would treat him gently. Father is expecting the teacher to treat the boy gently, because initially the students, they are just kids. They want patting, understanding, care, and gentle affection by the teachers. So this is a new experience for the school goer. Please treat my son very gently, very nicely. It is an adventure that might take him across continents. So it's all going to be like an adventure very dangerous activity, very difficult activity for a school goer in the beginning. Initially, they like their parents to take them to the school, they press them, but after a week, they start showing some um, disinterest towards it. That's where the teacher's role starts to handle the kids in a way which is acceptable and very admirable. So, father is asking the teacher in the lecture to give the best experience to the kid because it's a very big adventure for the kid to go to school. All the adventures probably include wars, tragedy, and sorrow. To live this life will require faith, love, and courage. Three important points: faith, love, and courage are being utilized, discussed in this particular context. Every student, according to Abraham, must know the value of faith and must also get faithful friends and must also be faithful in life and must also be loved, must also love, must also be courageous and must also handle the tough situations with these three more and most important points: faith, love, and courage. So the teacher is expected to discuss these points in the presence of the students, especially the boy whom is being referred to here by Abraham. So usually the adventures, include wars, tragedy, and sorrow. So many losses and a great deal of destruction. But a student who goes to school would feel that it is also equal experience, just like how a war leaves the kingdoms or the places being completely, destroyed. So please instill faith, love, and courage. Define the value of these three things. So, dear teacher, will you please take him by his hand and teach him things he will have to know, but gently if you can. So, please move the student gently and hold his hand. Never disown the kid and always give the best moments, but in a gentle manner, in a nice manner. Teach him that for every enemy there is a friend. He will have to know that all men are not just, that all men are not true. So, 2 points, major points here. If there is a problem with the people, just automatically the people whom the students have connection with, they turn out to be enemies at times. They must also learn one day they would also find good friends. So this kind of optimism should be taught, and all men are not just, all men are not true. These are the two important different polarities being discussed. All men are not just, not true. Some people whom we meet, if they do good things, we assume all good people are there in the world. If we happen to meet one or two guys who have done bad things, they would, that would be the day then we just have an idea, okay, the world is full of bad people. It's not like that. We must be balanced in identifying people, should be practical in evaluating the tendencies and attitudes of the people. This is what he is telling. But teach him also that for every scoundrel there is a hero, that for every crooked politician there is a dedicated leader. Again, two more points: scoundrel versus hero, crooked politician versus dedicated leader. So, in the course of time, life would offer and must also life would also introduce heroes as well as the scoundrels versus heroes. Crooked politicians would also be part of this world, and similarly, the human beings would also find dedicated leaders in the community and in the places where they have been living. So, preparedness and open mindedness are the two major points that Abraham touches here by mentioning these points and having some complete mature mindset to understand the world, because time and tide waits for none. Similarly, the world is not always full of, you know, you cannot be simply uh, um, bad that the world is fully bad. You can definitely find the good days with good people. We have two questions, friends. What does Lincoln mean by adventures? Can you answer this question based on the analysis? What does Lincoln mean by adventures? Did he really mean that the students would go on some trekking, or was it like an adventure for them? Was it an adventure, in fact, in true sense? Just think about it, and maybe you can write, if you have a book, in 5 6 sentences. Second comprehension question: what should the child learn about humanity? What should the child learn about humanity? These are the two questions based on the first two paragraphs, tiny paragraphs. Please try to pen down and give your descriptions. That's going to give an extraordinary experience to you to sharpen your writing skills too. Now, let me just get into the third paragraph here in this lesson. Teach him if you can that 10 cents earned is of far more value than a dollar found. 10 cents being earned by you versus a dollar being found on the road. What do you mean by this? Today, people are really crooked. They don't want to work, they just want to get anything without any work, for which they resort to petty theories, resort to telling lies, resort to doing bad things which are not acceptable again. So, here, true truth is necessary. Truth is necessary, and living a life with purity matters according to Abraham. What a wonderful quality he is suggesting. So, even the student earns 10 cents with hard work, intelligence, and knowledge he has. That is so honorable and great than finding a dollar on the road side, which is not his and yours or mine. So, we must believe in work. We need to earn our own rupees and money. This is a wonderful point. Similarly, in school, teach him it is far more honorable to fail than to cheat. He's talking about not to cheat people just for the sake of success. We see today many people, they want success for which they can go to any extent to create problems to others before exams. As students, sometimes among you, some people do have this kind of mentality. If they have books with them, they try to hide, thinking the books would give best, they might turn out to be advantages for others. If they just think like this, they try to hide and they just read themselves. It's only to secure good marks. But this is a narrow-mindedness, in fact. You need to be open-minded. You have to be helpful. God will definitely help you. And nothing can be hidden in this world. Talent is not anybody's asset. It is, a unique quality. How could you simply weigh or else scale that just because hiding a book you can stop the progress of your fellow classmate in the class? That's a bad idea. But Abraham says, failing is really honorable than cheating. Failing is really honorable. If you could not achieve the desired end levels, maybe you might fail in your effort. But failures are not the real loss. They are the stepping stones for success. If you think positively like this, you would again regain your strength, plan accordingly, and execute your plans. It will be an extraordinary event again. So, no problem. Just because you are dreaded and feeling so afraid of failing, never do any bad thing like cheating people, killing people, or else damaging properties and giving trouble to somebody. This is absolutely unacceptable, and this is against law. Abraham says that's not a good idea to cheat people. If you have to fail, just accept it. Teach him to learn how to gracefully lose and enjoy winning when he does win. So, loss and gain. And when you lose something, just lose. Be prepared to lose. We can't get anything in the life. We can't get anything in the life. You cannot, you may not earn as much as your neighbor earns, or you may not have as much as your neighbor has in terms of money, wealth, knowledge. But your neighbor may not be as great as you are. See, none of us is as good as all of us. Some differences among us. If somebody is good at making money, others might be good at having chastity and good qualities and moral values. So there are quite different people in the world. So we shouldn't, in fact, equate with every time with everybody that we have this and we don't have that. Maybe no problem. Abraham's point is the teacher must talk about this point. People can lose, the students can lose gracefully instead of feeling sad, and if it is necessary, and if they really win in life, be it in sports, be it in extracurricular and co-curricular activities, and in academics, they must enjoy their winning. That means their victory, they should celebrate. Obviously, the world and the life offers both pleasures and pains, so they can definitely select the good times and the accomplishments. Teach him to be gentle with gentle people, tough with tough people. This talks about gentle with gentle people. If people are nice with you, be nice. But if they are try to give you trouble, and you never have to wait, not even a single second. Tit for tat example is very important here. Be very prepared and give a fitting reply if a person in your life is creating problem to you. The teacher is asked by Abraham that students from school level onwards should be taught these points. This will instill confidence among some people who are psychologically sick, and inferiority complex is something that has been creating problems to them. And yes, some people who have, socially and economically, who are downtrodden, in fact, further they just feel okay, we can't do anything else, and before them we are nothing. This kind of inferiority complex, when people have such students, you should definitely have to come out of this problem and must say confidently that they too can be the winners in this world. So if they happen to find some crooked people and bad people who try to create problems, they should not wait, giving a reply, fitting reply. That's why be tough with tough people and gentle with gentle people. This quality should be taught by the teachers. Abraham is requesting the teacher to teach this quality. Steer him away from envy if you can, and teach him the secret of quiet laughter. Again, two more points. Across this lesson, you would find wonderful personality development points. Wonderful personality development points. Envy means jealousy. If your neighbor buys a car, you might, you might be jealous about that and about his progress. This quality is not at all good for you. Abraham is asking the teacher to discuss this point in the class. Teach. If people discuss this, the students would understand the world is full of people, and though those people have their own, resolutions and ambitions. We cannot discuss such things. If people earns, if people earn one lakh, 1 crore, that's not our job. Our job is to think about us, not looking at others and poking nose into somebody's matters. This is a bad quality, he says. Teach him the secret of quiet laughter. Yes, some people become moody, they become upset for small things. They are not at all happy with life. Abraham is asking students should be taught how to chill up themselves and how to find merry moments for for good that to happen in their lives. Teach him if you can how to laugh when he's sad. Teach him there is no shame in tears. When we really have to cry, we need to cry. When we shed tears, the problem will go off. Similarly, the students must also learn how to laugh, banishing the sadness. Sadness sometimes creeps in when we unnecessarily are caught in the problems and we can't avoid the situations. The consequences of some acts being administered or performed by us would create some kind of lacuna. Lacuna. Lacuna means gap. So it's okay, it's common that we can still be comfortable with us, because if winter comes, can spring be far behind? This is a statement, wonderful statement. I think one of the P.B. Shelley, British poets, says in one of the poems, the quotation goes this way: if winter comes, can spring be far behind? Remember this. After winter season, you will find spring season. So if you lose something, you would definitely get something later. Don't lose your heart. He talks about laughing, and that's called finding beautiful moments in life. It's not always about life, I mean work, being busy with earning money or getting disturbed by others. One must also learn the art of laughing, means find the ways in which you can have a lot of recreation that students should learn. And if sometimes if they lose and if they have to cry to just express their sadness and the loss, it's okay, they can still cry, no problem. They shouldn't hide it. But quite against to this point, most of the people in the world, they act as if that as if they know something, and they try to act, they don't just show it up outward. So Laughing is necessary in the context of feeling sad. Similarly, shedding tears for good and expressing the true sense of emotional status is also necessary about life. And teach him there can be glory in failure and despair in success. Teach him to scoff at cynics. So feel the student must feel happy that okay, when you get success, you would be happy, but when you fail, you will be very sad. But what he mentions about this is there is still some glory because you have put an effort. Afterwards you have seen whether it was correct or not. But most of the time students don't try to put efforts. They are very pessimistic that whether this can be possible or not, can I do it, this kind of imagination and so much of fear about the possible risks that they may have to face. Most of the people don't take any positive step towards. He says it's okay, it's a big glorious thing if you even fail after the sincere efforts. And also the student should also learn despair in success. So success sometimes gives some problem, in another way, in a way that when people are too many times successful, they may have so much of fan following and the mind becomes so headway, that's headstrong nature might pop in and they would feel okay, I'm just everything and I am so great. This kind of feeling that somebody is great might sometimes gives might sometimes give less courage and might sometimes lead to less performance too, where again failures become imminent in life. So we need to balance it. Students, I have finished first two paragraphs with two comprehension check questions and the next two paragraphs. Now I'm going to discuss the two comprehension check questions. Question number one: what does Lincoln say about honesty? Now you have to tell me. If people are honest, what would be the results and what are the advantages? What, according to Abraham Lincoln, is all about being honest? Second question: how should the child tackle ups and downs in life? Ups and downs are problems and possible successes. What do you mean by that? How should a child tackle? Child in the sense a child today can become a human being. I mean, grown up, an adult. So if he knows about or she knows about the hiccups in life, they would take appropriate decisions. This is the ultimate view of the writer. I am going to start the next two paragraphs in this text. Please follow the text. Teach him, if you can, the wonders of books, but also give time to ponder over the extreme mystery of birds in the sky, bees in the sun, and flowers on a green hill. Teach him to have faith in his own ideas, even if everyone tells him they are wrong. Try to give my son the strength not to follow the crowd when everyone else is doing it. Teach him to listen to everyone, but teach him also to filter all that he hears on a screen of truth and take only the good that comes through. Teach him, if you can, the wonders of books. So Abraham is asking the teacher to give importance to the books. Similarly, he's also expecting the kid to get in touch with nature. In nature, what are the properties that we usually are so much fascinated by or with? Sky, bees, sun, flowers, and all green hills, flora and fauna. So nature is the best teacher according to Wordsworth. Similarly, Abraham says, do not let the students sit always in the classroom. That's not going to give any productive outcomes. Sometimes they should also be released and must be given the opportunity to enjoy the beautiful nature. And he also mentions about faith in one's ideas, and everyone tells him they are wrong. Even everyone means people sometimes doubt whether we are right, and we have to listen to number of people on one particular subject matter. But finally, we have to arrive at one conclusion, which should be ours genuinely. So, the students in this context are expected to develop decision making skills. They cannot depend on others to make decisions about their lives or any other further progressive matters. The students must develop independent thinking skills. These are the expectations of Abraham. That's why he's saying, let them listen to many people. You can listen to n number of people, but finally, the decision that you arrive at should be yours. That's very important. Try to give my son the strength not to follow the crowd when everyone else is doing it. In this world, we always try to imitate, right? We try to imitate in terms of dress, in terms of bikes, and buying jewelry, but we never try to imitate a person who is studying really well in the class. We never try to live life who has already set some trends and has given some outcomes, a wonderful life. We never try to emulate. Emulate means imitate. We only try the artificial things which will never be in long term useful. Only temporary things which will give temporary pleasant things that we would follow in terms of dress and lifestyle and all. But potentially, the tools in terms of changing attitudes and giving best guidelines to lead life and to become successful, meaningful in life, we never try. But we have to do that. Try to give my son the strength not to follow the crowd. There are people who always follow many people, but he must be unique. Let him have his own path. Let him have his own idea. That means give him some think out of box or lateral thinking models in life with which she or he would follow. Teach him to listen to everyone, but teach him also to filter all that he hears on a screen of truth and take only the good that comes through. He has to listen to people, but finally, his decision should be final. This kind of ability should be taught in the school to my son. Dear students, I am going to read out the questions being present in this text. What should reading books be complemented with? So students are okay. They go to schools and colleges, universities. They read books. They get a lot of information. But besides this, equally, what is necessary for the students according to Abraham? How can the child save himself from following the crowd? So if you listen to people, if you follow people, this has become monotonous kind of life. You need to find a unique feature, unique way in which you can excel and explore. These are the expectations of Abraham. In this context, we can find Abraham is very proactive and forward thinking, and he expects people to be unique in their own way instead of following the traditional aspects of studies as well as leading life to some extent. So finally, there is one paragraph in page number 1. Students, teach him to sell his talents and brains to the highest bidder, but never to put a price tag on his heart and soul. This is a wonderful point. Students go to colleges. What is the purpose? Answer my question. You go to schools, later high schools, next junior colleges, long-term coachings for various programs, IIT, JEE, mains, advanced, NEET exams. So ultimately, what is the goal that you are all doing? Damn, about 15, 20 years staying away from family, mother, father, because you need to find a decent platform where you can do a job, right? That's the question. To get a job, why? To get money, why? To lead a very decent and peaceful life. So students cannot just only receive certificates from schools and colleges. They should go to colleges to excel and learn and acquire skills with which they can get jobs. Here, bidder means one who gives a job. Highest paid jobs the students get. So ultimately, they must not compromise on this point. Let him have the courage to be patient. Let him have patience to be brave. So we need courage to be patient. Means impatience is not a quality to be accepted by people. But sometimes when we are impatient, you can be very balanced. And you should, sometimes people would also misunderstand when we are impatient. But that should be for good thing. This is very important according to Abraham. Similarly, let him have the patience to be brave. So brave people are not only the bikers who ride fast, Brave people are not only people who can handle demons and ghosts in the night time. You can still be a brave person. Why and how? Having some patience. Today we see people do not have patience. All short-term goals and short-term endings. So being patient is another important quality according to Abraham Lincoln. Teach him to have sublime faith in himself. Sublime means great, great faith. No other second question. The student should have the faith in himself, in herself, because then he will always have sublime faith in mankind, in God. When you, when we otherwise love ourselves, when we give importance to ourselves in terms of health and wealth and spiritual or materialistic growth, we will definitely give that kind of equal treatment to the fellow human beings. This is the idea of Abraham. So everyone must think about this. And finally, in page number 2, we have a single sentence. This is the order, teacher, but see what best you can do. He is such a nice little boy, and he is my son. So finally, he concludes with a very wonderful statement. He says he is my son, and also does request, does teacher, see what best you can do. I have proposed so many things in order to maximize the potential of doing well in my kids' life, but see how best you can do. Thinking about all these points, at least there is a question here. What is Lincoln's advice on utilizing talent, courage, and confidence? So this is connected to getting a job and finding good placements of BTech or MBA or MCA. So, and even of BSc, BCom, BA, students' life cannot be empty after they have acquired degrees. So it should be useful at all. That is how parents invest a lot of blood, toil, tears, and sweat. Parents do expect that their children must also get jobs and support their families in return. And this case is more intensified when we look at middle class and below middle class families. So getting a job is a blessing for many, right? Friends, I think we have almost covered all aspects of Abraham Lincoln's views in this particular lesson. The title is Letter to His Son's Teacher, and we have got questions in this. So I guess you have understood a few points, and if what you have understood, please do comment on this lesson, and also do express your needs, that how you might probably want me to do more lessons on the syllabus being discussed and implemented in your respective institutions. I really thank you very much for being so patient to listen to this lesson and get ready to take exams in a very fruitful and wonderful manner.